My name is Nick Buda. I am a very happy Evans endorsee. Sitting here in Blackbird right now, in the process of starting Taylor Swift's new record. I guess we've been here the last couple days, and we're here today again. And would probably not sound half as good if it wasn't for Evans Drumheads, which are right here on these drums, and I've used them for years, even way before I was an Evans endorsee. I've been using them forever, so now I'm very happy to be a part of the family. And I will say, I mean, I put these new heads on Monday when we started these sessions because the other ones had been on here for a while, and that's the thing. I mean, these Evans heads, it's almost like they sound better after 2 or 3 days of use than right off the bat anyway. But they will last forever, and I hit hard. I mean, even these Taylor songs, I mean, the rockin' ones are seriously rocking. I come in all sweaty and stuff, and you know these things have taken a hit. But the fact that they continue to sound good forever is it's awesome, because honestly, I mean, changing heads all the time can just be a pain in the butt. And the fact that I can get to a session, you know, my cartage just has this set up and I show up, and I just hope that I don't have to do too much work to it. And with these, I hit them, they're 99% there every time. Having them set up in a club and just going in, or if it's a huge arena, whatever it is, and just being able to sit down and play them. And when the engineer comes back and says, "Man, your drums are sounding great," I mean, we all know the drums, you get good drums are good drums. But you can even make great drums sound bad. So the fact that I can get up there and have people actually comment on them is great. And actually, to be honest, it's the same with recording. I get great compliments about the way that the drums sound and all that sort of stuff. So that's it just makes my life easy, because if they don't sound good, you got attitude from the engineer the whole time, and who needs that? So that's good.
I mean, obviously we're in Blackbird here, which is a world-class studio with a great drum room.
Yeah.
But you were just talking about maybe moving to a new house, putting a drum room in. What are you going to do with that?
Well, I about 2 or 3 years, no, 3, 4 years ago now, I went ahead and took the dive into the deep end and bought the minimal amount of gear, but still the gear to be able to have a Pro Tools rig at home, so that I could have a little setup at home and people could hire me to put drums on demos and stuff. Like a lot of times nowadays with budgets being cut and all that sort of stuff, the idea of having to rent out a studio for somebody with a low budget is out of their range. So to be able to call me and say, "Hey, could you put these drum tracks on something?" A lot easier for them, and actually, to be honest, a lot more per song for me, because I'm providing them with a studio to be able to do it in and all that sort of stuff. And I'm at home. I mean, I can do it in my pajamas if I wanted to, you know. So, and that's actually how I met Nathan. He called me through a reference, through somebody he knew who mentioned that I had a studio and you needed a last-minute thing before really he was doing anything real big, and it just needed a quick drum track on something. Came over, we met, and got on great. He loved the track. Happened to sound good. I mean, the room I had the studio in was pretty much a large bedroom. That was it. And I just happened to, I got lucky with the way it sounded, basically. So this new place, I'm looking at really making a cooler drum room that really is set up to sound great, as opposed to getting lucky and having it sound pretty good. And I think it's the way to go. I mean, I get busy doing this kind of stuff, which is obviously great, but if I have a day off, it'd be great to have some people that would just love me to put tracks on stuff, and I can just spend the morning kind of on my own time, and it takes no time at all if it's just me. I'm not depending on everybody else to get the track right. It's really just me throwing it down a couple times, give them a couple options. Most people want the tracks raw without any kind of mixing, which is even easier for me, because I literally just put them down, run them off, and give it to them. So I think that is part of the future. I don't think these places are ever going to go away, because I could never get a room in my house to sound like this room does with the gear that they have and not end up in debt for the rest of my life. So, but you know, I can do my little piece, and that's kind of what I'm into.